What's up guys, Ryan here. So today I'm going to talk about Etsy ads. It's their new advertising platform. You may have received an email if you've been selling on Etsy with the subject line, maximize your advertising with Etsy ads. You probably got excited to read it. I know I was like, oh, what's Etsy doing to advance their advertising platform? And essentially when you click the email, you go straight to the Etsy ads early access page and you have the choice to opt into it. Now, before I did, so if you click Get Early Access, it says, when you turn on Etsy ads, we'll automatically move your current ad campaigns and transfer your budget over to our new platform. All right, fine. We'll optimize your campaign so you reach more buyers than ever on Etsy and Google. That sounds weird. When you start Etsy ads, you won't be able to turn your old campaigns back on. Uh-oh, hold up, red flag, guys. And by the way, I'm putting this video out there because I had multiple people ask me for my opinion. And yeah, you got to definitely pay attention to the details there, because if you go to Etsy promoted listings and you allow Etsy to optimize your promoted listing campaigns, essentially all that means is you're going to pay a lot per click. Like, you could, I'm not trying to say anything definitive, but like, I've got over 1,000 listings on Etsy and I've been experimenting with less and less of a CPC bid. Like right now I'm using 11 cents across the board as my max CPC bid, and I'm getting plenty of traction on a ton of my listings. The funny thing is, if I turn off the max CPC of 11 and I let Etsy optimize again, air quotes, my bids, then I'll be paying like 60, 70 cents per click. Like I've already faced this learning curve. Like when I got my initial exposure to Etsy, there was months where I was learning the ropes and, overspending on ads because I didn't know any better. Like I didn't have a course teaching me how to do this stuff. And, a big part of that is learning the hard way. But at least you guys can learn from my experiences. You don't have to let Etsy optimize your, and this is like, even if you don't use the Etsy ads early access stuff, like you can go right now into your promoted listings and let Etsy do automated bids for you. And you're going to be overpaying like crazy. Another thing I noticed is like, one day, like if you, let's say you check every single day, what you'll notice, it might not be in like a 24-hour window, but you'll notice it over time for sure. And I noticed it in 24 hours plenty of times, is like you could be bidding, let's say 30 something cents per click on a listing today. And then tomorrow it jumps like 20 cents per click. And then the day after that, it could go up even further. So it's one of these things where it's like, if you're not paying attention regularly, your bidding will get out of control, or it could. And another thing that should be said is, like, if you check my passive income reports, for instance, I always talk about my Etsy promoted listing stats. Like me using 11 cent bids, I'm getting plenty of exposure, meaning like Etsy's got lots of ad space to fill in their search results and on their pages. Like they will let you fill it if you've got your budget left. I mean, yeah, potentially if you're in like a hyper competitive space and your bids aren't high enough, then yeah, your competitors will get the space. But like, also, I mean, I've done some like pretty in-depth content on Etsy promoted listings, including recently Printful. I did a guest post on their blog, and it's a pretty deep dive into promoted listings. Like, just being the highest bidder is not the only determining factor for winning the promoted listings ad space. So there's just a lot to consider. My recommendation right now is to not opt into Etsy ads. And also, I should just mention real quick, so I went and hit learn more and then did some reading. And bidding is what I'm most interested in. I want to be able to control my bids. Like one of the big reasons, I did a short video on my channel talking about Google Shopping's integration with Etsy in the past. And it's very similar to like promoted listings if you let Etsy control your bids. With Google Shopping though, you don't have any control over it. So if you're using Etsy plus Google Shopping, your bids are out of your control. The only control you have is setting a budget. So let's say you have a budget of $1 a day. Well, if you're paying 70 cents a click, you're only going to get one click. And unless you have a 100% conversion rate, which nobody does, like you're most likely throwing that money away. Like Google Shopping through Etsy, not recommended. Not that Google Shopping isn't a viable advertising platform, but like you don't want to do it through Etsy where you can't control your bids. Anytime you can't control your bids, it's not good. And the first thing it says is under bidding. Since your listings are now being advertised across 2 platforms, you can no longer customize your bids. When you set up Etsy ads, you'll keep your previous bid settings from promoted listings and Google Shopping, which should maintain your current ad performance. Then, once we have enough data on Etsy ads, we'll start to optimize your bids to maximize visits from your ads. What that means essentially is like, They're just going to up your CPCs because that's how you get more visibility. It's literally like you pay more and then you get more visibility, but they're not saying it in those words. Next paragraph. Unlike Google Shopping and promoted listings, you can't adjust the bid set for each listing. Instead, you can adjust your daily budget and which listings you advertise. So you lose the ability to say, all right, I don't want to be paying more than 20 cents per click, and you're trusting their algorithm, which if we just trust it at face value, they're saying, we'll increase your exposure. Well, again, how do you do that? You pay more. So they're just going to make sure that they spend your daily budget every single day. If that means paying more per click, then you'll pay more per click, and you won't have any control over it. Last sentence, you're still only charged for clicks on your ads, and the cost for clicks is determined by your bid amount. But they just said right here that you're no longer in control of your bids, of your, max CPCs, your bids per click. So this could very easily get out of hand if it's what it sounds like. And we have pretty much no reason not to trust that when you bring your campaigns over to Etsy ads, again, you will not be able to turn the old campaigns back on, and you will lose the ability to, you cannot adjust the bids for each listing. So I would recommend, this was a very long-winded way of saying that I do not recommend using the new Etsy ads, at least until we have more information. Now, normally I'm willing to be the guinea pig and kind of figure it out and then tell you guys, but I'm scared since it says, once you start, you're kind of invested for life. You can't go back. So I might kind of wait on this and see how I'm feeling about it later, but right now I'm not too convinced that this is the right move. Anyways, guys, if you haven't started your Etsy business yet, go ahead and check out my free 8-day mini course. There's no catch. It's one lesson delivered into your email inbox each day. It'll walk you through using the Etsy Printful integration. You literally get started with no upfront costs. The only thing that you'll pay is a 20-cent listing fee for each listing that you put on Etsy. That's it. And then anytime from there, if you make sales, you will pay Printful to create the product and ship it to your customer, and you price in your profit margin on each sale. So there's really nothing to lose and everything to gain. And I'm putting the information out there for free, including how to run promoted listings on Etsy to increase your visibility the right way, which is, I'll give you a hint, not trusting Etsy to optimize your bids. But anyways, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you liked it, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, hit me up below and I'll get back to you. But I will see you at the next one.
Passive Income School is open. Enroll now at ryansmethod.com. Thank you.